Have you ever had a boss who acted more like a monarch than a manager? Did you sometimes feel crushed under the heel of his or her despotism and power? The typical hierarchical business organization seems to create these types of leaders. This management structure has a strong decision maker at the top with a pyramidal structure under the executive who is thought of as the lord of the domain. This leader directs the company or department, often in response to personal needs. The organization is a hierarchy of set levels of control with a rigid chain of command. The principal thing passed down the command structure are decisions from the leader. Choices are made at the higher levels of the pyramid, not at the bottom. The soldiers on the battle line are expected to be obedient and consistent in carrying out orders. The manager as monarch concept describes many types of organizations, not just kingdoms or armies or businesses, but also unions, government agencies, churches, even families. This leadership model can be effective, especially in a stable environment with predictable change and subordinates who are programmed to follow orders. But what if the environment starts to change rapidly, unpredictably, with no time for reports to filter back from the field to the leaders? Decisions need to be made quickly, but the rigid chain of command is slow and cumbersome. With the status quo threatened, the leader becomes fearful. He tightens the screws, increases control, stresses tradition, and issues new rules and regulations to deal with the changes. Contradictory information from the front line is avoided and its bearers are punished. The main thing passed down the chain of command are ever more autocratic decisions. The soldiers on the front line feel the changes first, but must respond according to the rules, and they suffer accordingly. Fear permeates all levels of command. But what if there were a different type of organizational structure with a different type of leader? This kind of manager is a mentor seeking to empower people to take control of their individual work contexts. The goal of the manager as mentor is to make subordinates at least as competent as he or she is. Rather than seeing workers as potential rivals, this manager sees them as colleagues. This type of organization can adapt to changing environments quickly because there are fewer levels of command and more networking and informal links between people. The leader sees diversity of opinion as a strength. The principal leadership activity is mentoring, with the goal of empowering workers for performance and adaptability. The most important thing taught is how to make decisions. Workers feel they are peers, not subordinates. This leadership approach contains a seeming dichotomy, that the best way to maintain control in an unstable environment is to give it away. There just isn't time in an unstable situation to go back up the chain of command for tactical decisions. An organization is like all other living things. In times of stress and change, it must adapt to its new environment or die. The ultimate objective is to have all persons in the organization capable of making correct decisions in any situation for which they have responsibility. An organization that empowers its people to adapt to dramatic changes increases its chances of survival in an unstable climate. So, what kind of leader are you? A monarch or a mentor? I'm Barbara Hanks, and this is a Rapid Visual.